Up next is Mary Hartman. Mary represents Hannapin Marketing, a company based out of Bloomington, Indiana, that has quickly become known as a thought leader in the pay-per-click or PPC world. We are thrilled to have their expertise in the house today. So please join me in welcoming Mary to the stage.
All right. How many people in here are running AdWords campaigns? Yes? Yeah? How many people on Bing? Any? How many on Yahoo Genesis? No. Good. Yahoo Genesis is it's a bit of a tricky network. So yeah, I'm here to talk about paid search today. Paid search is sort of the older brother of social, I like to think of. Thank you. Yeah, social is much more audience driven, and obviously search is lower in the funnel. It's the point at which people, they know what they want and they're searching for it, and it's very keyword driven. So see here. This is me, Hannapin Marketing. Yeah, we're a company that we specialize in social and paid search, but we're moving into the social realm as well because everybody's talking about audiences these days. But social is our bread and butter. And just to go over just a basic agenda of what I'll be talking about today, first talking about understanding the search environment, getting familiar with the search engine results page, organic versus paid ads. I actually worked in organic before I moved into paid search. And they are very similar animals in some ways and quite different. But search is, it has those two prongs. So organic and paid, they're both very related to Google or whatever search engine, taking a look at your site and looking at the quality of your site, the quality of the content on your site, and that's a huge part of the success that you'll find in either of those channels on the search engine results page. I'll also be talking about achieving text relevancy using audiences. Everybody's talking about audiences with social, and search has more and more audience opportunities. And then keyword research. So just as an overview of what's going on in search today, over 50% of all search queries globally come from mobile devices. Mobile is huge, and there's been a two-time increase in near-me queries over the year 2015 to 2016. It's been a huge change in the mix of keywords that we're starting to see. And especially as people start to use voice search more often, they'll be looking for a place that's near them or a place that's local. Queries get longer, like whole sentences now, instead of just the couple of words that people used to target on search. And 66% of smartphone users look up something they've seen on ads. And that's another big part of search that we're starting to see is figuring out that attribution. Somebody can click on an ad, they can go to your site, they can navigate away, they can come back. It's the same with social, trying to find that mix of attribution factors, that understanding of how people they come and go from your site using different channels, but also through different what's the word I'm looking for? Different devices. Everybody has more than one device now. I mean, we have iPads and we have multiple laptops. I mean, I think I have 3 or 4 laptops in my house right now. So attribution is becoming more and more challenging as people use multiple devices throughout the day. And Google has been using a lot of updates in attribution to be able to track these sorts of things. So again, Google voice search queries have increased at 3,400% since 2008. You'll notice different search engines taking advantage of this. You'll notice Siri, but a big part of the Windows update that happened was to make sure Cortana was becoming more and more of a personal assistant. A big drive is that Bing is working to ensure that when people search for something on Cortana, that ads become part of that mix of what people search for, just from their laptops or from their Androids. Searchers are on the go more than ever, and almost half of all searches are for local information or for fun and entertainment, which definitely fall within this niche. So getting familiar with the SERP, the search engine results page, the organic search page elements include Google My Business and structured snippets for show times, and then obviously the page search elements. And what I really wanted to touch on from my organic experience is the really importance of being able to dominate this space, dominating it through your location listing, your Google My Business listing, but also you can use a schema markup on your site that allows for your show times to show up right in that info, the text box. Those informational boxes that Google uses, they show up on a third of all searches. So it's so important to be able to dominate that space, to dominate that first page when someone is searching. That's just the organic element. And then on the paid search side, a little bit of a shout out to the Museum of Science and Industry. I was impressed with their ad. The ads get bigger and bigger all the time. There are so many more elements, so many more extensions being used these days, and they're coming out with them constantly. So I would definitely take a look at all of the different extensions available to you. You can put review extensions right in your ad. You can put structured snippets, so you can highlight the different types of shows you show. Obviously the business the location extension is in there as well. Site link extension, so the searcher can go directly to the part of the page they're looking for. And the brand new extension that just came out recently was a price extension. And you'd think that that would be really ideal, for people selling neckties. But it's also really terrific for services and for highlighting something like if someone wants a ticket for less money with a membership, you can actually highlight that through a price extension. You can show a person, this is the full price for a ticket, and then this other extension would show, well, this is, you can get a discount if you get a membership. So it really, extensions also contribute to how Google perceives your ads and the importance of your ads and how often it serves your ads too. If you have really robust ad extensions, and if you're using all the tools that Google is giving you, typically Google will show your ads more often, and they will show your ads for a lower price than other competitors that might not be. Achieving ad text relevancy. So I like to think of it as sort of a three-pronged approach. A person, when they search for something, they type in or they say a keyword, and then they want to see that keyword displayed in the ad copy. And it's been shown time and time again that if that word, if they're looking for showtimes, they want to see showtime, the word showtime in the ads. They want to see it in the copy. They want to see it presented to them, or they want to see an extension that tells them what price something is. So using the keywords in the ad copy, and then a searcher never wants to get on an on-site experience where it's completely unrelated to what they search for. So that relevancy should flow throughout that process of someone searching, looking at the ads, saying, yes, that's exactly what I want, and then having that experience on the page. So making sure they land on a page that's very relevant to their search, if your site is robust enough to provide that. A great way to add those relevant keywords into your copy is through keyword insertion, and there's so many dynamic ways to do this. In addition to different features like my personal favorite is the countdown feature. So you can actually add an element into the ad and it'll let the person know how many days there is left until this, this particular show closes, or you have this many more days until, until that show is no longer available. So it creates this sense of urgency, and it creates this, it really makes people want to click in, and it also just provides extra information. You can do the same with inserting someone's city into the actual ad, which is really terrific. And then keyword insertion in general. There's just different ways you can, the system will automatically have that keyword in your headline, which can be useful, but also I kind of take that with a grain of salt, because sometimes if your keywords are very broad, if people can Google kind of odd things and they end up in your headline. So it's almost like you're over-promising what you might be in your headline. Audiences, everybody's talking about audiences, I feel, in the industry right now with Facebook, and Google is definitely paying attention, Bing is paying attention. Audiences are so valuable in search, and they're becoming more valuable in search. It was only a year or two ago that AdWords rolled out audiences for search. And so now you can not only target specific keywords, but you can target specific audiences on the search engine. Another thing to include is just remember your site visitors. Remember what pages people are going to if they have specific interests. You can really target those people well, and this kind of rolls over into display marketing as well, is making sure that you're giving someone, you could follow people around, like everybody knows Amazon. Amazon's always following everyone with the products that you saw, the shoes that you looked at last week. So it's such a no-brainer, and it's so inexpensive to keep following your visitors and giving them content that is relevant to what they've searched for before. You can also do layering. Google, I haven't had too much experience with this since it's new, but the in-market audiences, Google sort of determines through a user's their browsing activity that they're in the market for something. They're in the market for tickets. They're looking, they're active, and you can actually target those people just at the moment that they're searching for it. I would say that that's a play against programmatic, which is huge for that sort of thing. And affinity audiences is more the Facebook style, the type of person and the person's interests, and targeting them that way. Keyword research, just for basic, I did a little bit of poking around. It's pretty inexpensive, but the best thing you can do is use Google Keyword Planner to look up those keywords that you are interested in running. It gives you a great idea of how much volume there is, how much you intend to pay. If anyone ever asks you, exactly how much volume is this going to get, what is the expectation for the searches? It can give you so much data. SpyFu and SEMrush are two other tools that are really terrific for doing that digging. And you can even search by other websites, and you can get a really great idea of keyword expansions. So these are basically the three big tools that I use for keyword research, just to make sure you're hitting all of those different variety of searches. It's good. And so some final notes. Make the most of your budget through careful geographic targeting. And that's another element of Keyword Planner that you can use, and through your campaigns, is taking a look at your geographic targeting and making sure that you are I mean, just use all those tools that Google gives you. Google lets you know when people are searching, lets you know where they are and what time of day is most valuable to you. So make sure you're making your bid adjustments based on all of that kind of information. Conversion tracking, obviously, it drives your strategy and it'll shape your audiences. And then another great thing is app campaigns. You can use app campaigns to be able to drive downloads. Google app campaigns have been evolving over the past few years, and they're really getting to a point where they can monitor when a person is interacting with an app. They can also monitor if a person deletes an app and tries to get them to re-download. So the specific Google app campaigns are a really terrific way, if you do have an app, to just be able to get people back onto the app and to buy tickets that way. And then, of course, display campaigns being at the top of the searcher's mind when you're using audiences, when you're using remarketing. And remarketing can also be done through search, so don't ever think of it as just a display thing. With remarketing for search is really terrific because you can basically hit those people with very broad keywords. Typically, when I launch a remarketing search campaign, I use much more robust keyword lists, and it basically the way it's set up, it allows you to use much more wide keyword targeting, and it's a low risk because you're already serving to people who are already interested in you or are already familiar with your brand and everything. So. Great. Yeah, thank you.